Today I fucked up by being a month too early. Okay, this happened a long time ago, before I joined Reddit, and I thought about it this morning. I am a very punctual person. Like, if you don't know what time it is, you will know when I arrive. I am rarely late, I hate it to be honest, so I always time it to be as precise as possible, or being early. Now you know what kind of person I am when it comes to being punctual. Now to my fuck up. My stepsister was graduating high school, or the equivalent in my country. The graduation was in June 6 years ago, so I got ready and took off to the place where we would celebrate her. All fine and dandy, but when I arrived, the place was empty. No cars, no people, nothing. Checked the address again and again, then texted my stepmom. My stepmom laughed and told me to check the date and month. I did. And to my horror it was the 25th of May and not the 25th of June. I was so embarrassed and asked her not to tell anyone but my dad. She kept her word, and her and my dad did not tell the hosts of my mistake. Next month was her graduation, and no one but my dad, stepmom and I, had a chuckle on my behalf, and no one knew why, and no one will ever know. Well, now you know. And my dad and stepmom haven't forgotten yet and still teases me with it. Gosh, I am happy no one was home that day. Too long didn't read. I mistook the date of my stepsister's graduation party, and came a month early, still being teased about it, but also happy that no one was home at the time. Could be a fun story for a job interview. So we take punctuality seriously here. Being late to a shift can screw up the whole day. I once showed up a month early so I wouldn't be late. I hate it to be honest. You should become a wizard, cause after all, a wizard is never late. Neither are they early. They arrive exactly when they mean to. I love that LOTR reference, D. I'm more like a witch, with cackle and kitty sidekick. Instead stepsister joke here, and I need to bleach my brain to remove images. I know a girl who showed up to a concert a year early. Her and her friend were so confused where everybody else was at, until they saw the year on their tickets. Today I fucked up by unmuting. I am never speaking in class ever again. I was in call with my newspaper class and we had a sub. She said she was going to call roll and that we need to unmute and say here when she gets to us. Being the DUMB proactive student I am, I decided to prepare by putting my clicker on the unmute button. I got distracted and one of my favorite songs came on, so I instinctively started singing along to it. Not humming, full on belting it. I guess I was absent-mindedly poking at the touchpad because suddenly I heard the sub say "Oh pretty music" in an apologetic tone and I fucking froze. I made a strained grunting noise and muted after about 15 seconds of being paralyzed by embarrassment. Best part is that my name was called right after and I had to give a defeated H-air while knowing full well that everyone was laughing their asses off at the shit I just pulled. Anyways, I no longer doubt the validity of the Zoom horror stories on this sub after experiencing it firsthand. Excuse me while I crawl into a hole and die. Too long didn't read. Accidentally unmuted in class and everyone heard my incredibly loud rendition of Hey Julie. What song though? Smile. Edit. Saw the song in the too long didn't read. Smiley face. Hey Julie, Fountains of Wayne. Music was playing through my earbuds so I can't imagine how dumb I sounded. Not the worst story but I understand the pain. Have done it and just barely caught myself. Oh god. Best thing you can do is make a joke about it and ask them if they want to hear you sing again. Making fun of myself has gotten me out of a lot of embarrassing situations unscathed. I know, right? Don't worry, my friend unmuted himself and started arguing with his girlfriend and swearing how shitty the class is XD. Own up to that experience and if asked offer to sing again. Smiley face. No words can break you if you already accept that you made a mistake. Good luck. Today I fucked up by accidentally tipping 200+%. Finally managed to get out and get a haircut for the brief period they'll be open in my area. I went to a place I've never been before. A small barber shop run by an old Italian guy, What better place, right? Ultimately it turned out to be more of an older person's venue. He cut my hair kind of how he would an older man's despite me being a young guy and trying to give directions. Eventually I go to pay and he doesn't take cards of any kind. His cash register was absolutely ancient. I say I'll go to an ATM and ask what I owe. He says in his very thick accent 50. I was incredibly taken back, but he already cut my hair and I figure I wouldn't argue. Very tough times, barbers have been hit some of the hardest. Fine, 50. I get some cash and pay the man, even tossed in a couple extra bucks. When I went back in he was cutting someone else's hair, so I just left the money on the counter. A few hours after I got home I get on the computer to see that I left his page up on Google Maps, so I decided to scroll through the reviews some more, and there it was. Fairly priced for men's cuts at about $15. 50, the guy was saying 15 and I totally misunderstood him. I paid him over triple the price for a haircut I didn't even end up liking that I have to fix at home. I feel incredibly stupid, but I'll bet I at least made an old man's day during a tough time. Too long didn't read, misunderstood the barber's accent and paid $50 for a $15 haircut I didn't like. He's going to remember you, so if you go back he's going to think you really enjoyed that haircut and be sure to give you the exact same old man haircut. I don't see this as a fuck up. Like you said, barbers have been hit hard. It's more just helping out someone who may need it. I once bought a round of drinks for my English in-laws at the local. I asked the price and misunderstood the waitress, gave her a 20 and a 10. Turns out it was £4.30. If you know how Brits love to take the piss, you know I never, ever lived that down. Let it never be said that we are not philanthropic men. You know what they say, a good deed never goes unpunished. Lol. 50 and 15 are easy to mix up in a conversation, you just have to ask 50 or 15.